All right, welcome back. Speaking on, the type of things that happen, the reality at least of a narcissist that you were with that moved on to another situation, the reality of it all, and what is actually more than likely happening, what is more than likely the outcome of the situation. Um, Given the fact that narcissists are opportunists and they seek to place themselves in the best situation as possible, and they get extremely bored easily. They oftentimes shift, and that's where a lot of the unpredictability comes in, because even getting something new, it's gonna get old to them after a certain period of time. Folks, you have to understand, this is how they are wired. This is what they do. All right. It does not self correct itself within them just because they've met a different person and you are looking at it from the outside to yourself saying, wow, how wonderful does it look with them that they seem to be happy. And because let's just back up for a moment. Last time you had any interactions with them, it was very bad. You were arguing, you were getting, slandered, name called, all of this stuff, right? Um, it was a bad interaction. And that's the last thing that is gonna leave the most lasting example of what happened, at least on that imprint on your mind, at least. But to the new person, they're not gonna be that way, right? They're gonna be the most charming, the most welcoming type of person that you could possibly ever run into. So you're seeing a total different phase. That's number one. When you're looking on the other side, when you're looking at their social medias and stuff like that, you're seeing a different phase of the narcissist. You're seeing the first phase, which doesn't have anything bad that's going to be revealed to them, or about them, at least when you're looking. Over a course of time with that new situation, the narcissist will find the same faults that they saw in you, or that they profess to have seen in you. They'll find the same thing in the other person. Trust me, it works that way. They're always going to find faults with whoever they're with whoever they come across. They're going to find something wrong. They're going to find something off, something to complain about. And this is what you have to understand. And as a normal person, we know that there is no such thing as perfect. There's no such thing as perfection. So a narcissist expects perfection out of the individual that they are with. So if you just think about that for a moment. To find absolute perfection in the person that you're with is always going to set themselves up for failure and disappointment. Because once they see that this new person that they've gotten with is not perfect, is not going to operate the way that they want them to, they will soon come to the same conclusion that they came to with you. That you're useless, that you're not worth it, that they can do better. This is that vicious cycle that they go through, and that They try to manipulate to the best of their ability to have the upper hand on, but it never works. They're trying to form a perfect union with someone else that is not perfect as well, that's imperfect. It's not going to work. But the things that happen is the narcissist goes in so hard in the beginning. The effort, the amount of energy, the amount of attention that they're putting in on the new source of supply, it's really all them is what you're looking at. So the glamour show that you're witnessing and seeing is really them making it appear to be that way, because they're putting in so much effort with this new source of supply, because to them, this is going to be the one now. This is the one. They found it out, and they're going to make this one work, only to be disappointed later. And that disappointment point may not hit within 6 months, may not hit within a year, may not hit within 2 years. A lot of you look at things like them having children with the new supply, or having a kid with the new supply, or moving in with the new supply, or getting married to the new supply as a definite union, at least between the two of them. You look at that as a significant indicator that things are different and things are going to work better, because, hey, you may have wanted to get married, but they didn't want to marry you, right? Or, hey, you wanted to have a kid with them, but they didn't want to have a kid. Or, whatever that may have, aligned to something being more definite between the two of you, right? Didn't happen. But that's not to say that because it's happening on the other side that it's a better situation. That's not what that means. It just means that maybe the narcissist has tried a different tactic, right, that they didn't do with you to make that new supply feel more comfortable and going along with whatever objective that the narcissist had set forth for the situation. It's basically the same road, just different stops. You could be going up the same road to work. There's a gas station. You might stop at one all the time, but this time you decide to start stopping at the other one on the other side of the street, even though it's more of an inconvenience to go on the other side. You may decide to stop at that one, but nonetheless, they're still on the same road. So with the narcissist, there's still going to be a narcissist. They're just using different tactics that causes different responses to happen from each source of supply. But at the end of the day, the road still leads to the same place. So a narcissist is going to be a narcissist regardless. So each situation, each person that they're with, because they're with the narcissist, it's going to produce the same results at different times, and the results are going to look differently, but ultimately it's going to equate to failure. Now, when a person is emotionally wrapped up into the situation, it's always more difficult to see it in that way when you're smack dab right in the middle of it. You're not gonna see it that way because your emotions is still trying to comprehend how they were able to move on from you and go to somewhere else, and the appearance of it looking, feeling as though you missed out on a good thing is more overwhelming to your sense of self, and your it's overpowering your logic. At least it's overpowering your reasoning. But it's no different. A lot of you haven't had the chance to see how these narcissists were prior to you in other situations. Some of you have, and it's giving you a lot of insight to help speed up that process and closure. Because if you have seen it, you know the patterns don't change. Patterns don't lie. And so if you were able to get a glimpse at what they did before you, yeah, they may have tweaked some things that they found out was not good for the longevity of their control over someone. They may tweak things. They only get better at manipulating. And this is what can be confusing to some when they see other situations working. You have to remember this. It's not because they became a better person. It's because they became better at manipulating the situation. Their tactics of manipulation stepped up. That's what that is. You on the outside mistake it and think, well, maybe something changed. Maybe what they were saying about us did cause the issues. No, it didn't. They weren't able to get anywhere further with their manipulative tactics with you. So they moved on. It's better to think about it. It's better to start from a clean slate than to try to convince you that they're different, and all these bad instances and stuff have happened between you and them, and y'all have just a line of bad history together. That's a lot harder to correct and fix versus getting someone from a clean slate that doesn't know anything about them, and then they can tweak and, finesse and finagle their tactics on that person, and it'll work 10 times more effective because that person knows nothing about them. That's a big reason why they prefer to move on as well. It's going to be too much work with you. You know too much. And the more you begin to figure the narcissist out, the less power and control they're going to have over you. They don't want to be in that type of situation. They rather abandon that ship and jump to a next one. Not because the next person is any better. No, not in any way. Most of the times because the other person presents maybe a better opportunity, or the other person is going to be a more suitable victim by being gullible or lacking the knowledge of who they are. You got to remember the experience and the time that you put forth with the narcissist, all those years and all those different interactions, you've gotten to figure them out to a certain point. They know this. They know when you're getting on to them. They'll jump ship in a minute. They'll go looking for a different source of supply because they know you're on to them. They're out of there. No sense in sticking around and fighting an uphill battle that's going to make them work harder. Why do that when there's a bunch of other gullible different victims out there that they can go pick up on and pretend to be a victim? And that's why you have to kind of be cautious of those who profess to be victims, right? Because there's a difference between true victims and those who scream victim but were the cause of their own problems. Yeah, it's a very tricky one to dissect. But narcissists, they're masters at that, of playing victim when they were the source of the problem the whole time. And oftentimes, I would say the majority of times, that's how they move on to the next person as the victim. Let's face it, it's easier to get accepted in as a victim than anything else. You can hide behind the victim card, at least. And so, yeah, it's a lot easier for them to move on, and the new person is, none the wiser, and they're accepting the narcissist at face value on everything. And the narcissists love it because, okay, this is how it's supposed to be. They don't want to be questioned and going back and forth with you. They hate that. That's why when you get into a heated debate, argument with them, a lot of times narcissists shut down, or they start going into this psychobabble talk, making irrelevant points that have nothing to do with the situation at hand. They don't like to deal with that. All right. They don't want to have any accountability. So if they can't get it through manipulation and trickery, they want no parts of it. And that is one of the main reasons why they become done with you. Because once you get a hold and start figuring them out bit by bit, and you question them in a way that they never seen you question them before, they know you're on to them. They know it. They know it's only a matter of time before the tables turn. And then you stop believing in them, and then you stop respecting them, and then that puts them at risk. They're never going to stick around that long to allow you to have that type of upper hand on them. They'll move around. Right? And part of that is breaking your will down, breaking your confidence and self-esteem down about who you were and what you thought they were, to where you're ready to throw out whatever you believed about them and accept them back if they can get you back in that way. But even then, they still don't want you because they know there's too much bad history. So they move on. But trust me, same situation on the other side. Don't fret yourself over it. Just understand that you were getting close to exposing really who they were. Anyway, hit a like, share, subscribe. Any one-on-one bookings, click the link in the description or in the comment section. Shoot me an email. I'll get you information on that. Until next time, have a good one.